If you put them on clean straw, heat up in a couple days and you'll never. They don't go leaving off feed. They just.
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
You can go to sleep.
Toma. Toma.
Okay, they're sneakers.
Ты был в мусорном ведре? Был или не был? Да не жги ты салфетки.
آقا میخوای مطالعه کنی پسرم
Mr. Peanut Butter. Yeah, there's a happy.
Oh my goodness.
Let's take a look. About animals is that they can turn almost anything into a moment.
Oh my god.
Let's
you doing to that dog? But are you petting him? Are you petting him? What?
脑袋
Yeah.
Песточка. Моя девочка.
Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Rainy Walk Turned into Bai and Apos, S Best Adventure and Quote. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and Apos, like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Today started with gray clouds hanging over the neighborhood. I looked out the window while holding Bai and Apos' leash, wondering if we should skip our usual morning walk. Tiny raindrops tapped softly against the glass, and the streets looked darker than usual. Bai, however, had a completely different opinion. The moment he heard the tiny jingle of his leash, his ears stood straight up. His fluffy tail began wagging so fast that it looked like a little fan. He ran circles around the living room, stopping every few seconds to look at me with those sparkling eyes that clearly said, and quote, "Come on, let and Appos, let's go," end quote. I laughed, end quote. "Buy it and Appos, it's raining," end quote. He tilted his head. I pointed outside. He barked once. I sighed dramatically, end quote. "Fine, but if you get wet, Don and Appos, blame me," end quote. Within minutes, I put on my rain jacket, grabbed an umbrella, and slipped a little blue raincoat on to Bai. He stood proudly while I buttoned it, looking as if he believed he was preparing for an important mission. The second I opened the front door, cool fresh air rushed toward us. The rain wasn't Appos, heavy. It was gentle, soft, and peaceful. I carefully stepped outside before suddenly realizing that puddles existed. His first tiny splash surprised him so much that he jumped backward. Then he looked down at the puddle, looked at me, and slowly tapped it again with one paw. Splash. His ears perked. He tried again. Splash. Suddenly, something magical happened. Instead of avoiding every puddle, I decided they were the greatest invention in the history of dogs. He bounced from one puddle to another like a fluffy kangaroo. Splash. 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 Water flew everywhere. His tiny raincoat quickly became covered in muddy spots, but he didn't and Appos. Seemed to care at all. Every jump made him happier than the last. People walking nearby couldn't and Appos. Helped smiling. One elderly lady laughed and said, and quote, "That dog is having the best morning of anyone here," end quote. Honestly, she wasn't and Appos. Wrong. Watching Bai discover joy in something as simple as rain reminded me that happiness doesn't and Appos. Always needs sunshine. Sometimes it simply needs curiosity. We eventually reached our neighborhood park. Usually, it was full of joggers, children, and families. Today, almost empty. Only the sound of raindrops falling on leaves filled the air. Everything smelled fresh. The grass looked greener. The flowers seemed brighter. The whole park felt like it belonged only to us. I walked slowly at first, sniffing every wet tree trunk and every flower that had collected tiny droplets. Then, he spotted something. A family of ducks. They were swimming peacefully in a small pond that had grown larger because of the rain. Bai froze. His ears stood tall. His tail stopped moving. He looked completely fascinated. One duck quacked loudly. Bai answered with a tiny bark. The duck quacked again. Bai barked louder. For nearly 2 minutes, they had what sounded like the world and Appos' funniest conversation. Quack. Woof. Quack. Woof. I couldn't and Appos. Stopped laughing. Bai wasn't and Appos. Trying to scare them. He genuinely seemed convinced they were talking to him. Eventually, one brave duck waddled closer to the edge of the pond. Bai slowly lowered himself onto his belly. He stared. The duck stared back. Neither of them moved. It felt like two explorers meeting for the very first time. Then the duck suddenly flapped its wings. Bai jumped straight into the air. He spun around, nearly tripped over his own paws, and sprinted toward me as if he had just escaped a dinosaur. I laughed so hard that tears mixed with the rain on my face. After hiding behind my legs for a few seconds, I peeked around to check if the giant feather monster was still there. When he realized the duck had already returned to the pond, his confidence magically came back. He proudly walked forward again as though nothing embarrassing had happened. Dogs have an incredible talent for pretending they never made a mistake. As we continued our walk, we discovered tiny mushrooms growing beside old tree roots. We watched raindrops slide from leaves like tiny glass beads. Bai even found a fallen stick nearly twice his size and proudly carried it through half the park, refusing to let it go even when it kept bumping into bushes. Several people walking past smiled at him. One little girl waved excitedly. End quote. "Your dog looks so happy," end quote. Bai wagged his tail even faster, as if he understood every word. Maybe he did. Or maybe happiness speaks a language that doesn't and Appos need translation. By the time we headed home, the rain had become slightly heavier. Neither of us minded. Bai happily trotted beside me, occasionally splashing into one final puddle whenever he thought I wasn't and Appos looking. Of course, I always noticed. When we finally reached home, the real adventure began. Bath time. I suddenly acted as if he had forgotten every puddle he had enthusiastically jumped into. He slowly backed away from the bathroom. He looked at me, then at the towel, then back at me. I smiled. End quote. Nice try. End quote. After a warm bath, I wrapped him in the biggest fluffy towel I could find. His favorite part came next. The towel zoom eyes. The moment I put him down, he exploded into action. He ran across the hallway, slid across the floor, rolled onto the sofa, jumped off again, then sprinted through every room with unbelievable energy. The wet dog had officially transformed into a furry tornado. After 5 minutes of nonstop excitement, I finally collapsed onto his soft bed with a long, satisfied sigh. I made myself a warm cup of tea. I received a small dog treat. We sat beside the window together, listening to the rain continue outside. The same rain that almost made me cancel our walk had given us one of the happiest mornings we and Apos shared in weeks. No expensive trip, no special event, no perfect weather. Just a rainy day, muddy paws, curious ducks, giant sticks, warm towels, and countless little moments worth remembering. Living with Bai constantly reminds me that adventures Don and Apos always arrive with perfect plans. Sometimes they arrive disguised as inconvenient weather, unexpected changes, or ordinary days that seem unremarkable at first. We often wait for ideal conditions before allowing ourselves to be happy, but Bai never does. He embraces every puddle, every new smell, every surprise with excitement instead of hesitation. Watching him has taught me that joy grows when we stay curious, laugh at small accidents, and appreciate simple moments with the people or pets we love. The next time rain interrupts your plans, Don and Apos immediately think the day is ruined. Bring an umbrella, step outside, breathe the fresh air, and allow yourself to discover something unexpected. Life and Apos' most unforgettable memories often begin with the words, end quote. This wasn't Apos' part of the plan, end quote. That rainy walk didn't end Apos' become memorable because everything went perfectly. It became memorable because we experienced it together, smiled through every splash, and turned an ordinary morning into a story we and Apos never forget. And if I had one message for everyone watching today and Apos' vlog, it would probably be this. Never underestimate the happiness waiting inside the next puddle.